So I'm Steve.
I'm Riley.
Tax Force is our company. What's the segment called? The segment's called Teaching Riley.
So Steve, we did a video before about emergency funds, but where should I be putting that money? Like just in a regular savings account, or what should I be looking at?
Great question. So there are a number of different kinds of accounts that you can have, right? You can have a savings account, a checking account, a TFSA, or a tax-free savings account. You can have an RSP, or a trading account where you can trade stocks and mutual funds, things like that.
Okay, so lots of options.
Lots of options, right? For an emergency fund, I think the best place to put it is in your tax-free savings account.
Okay, and why is that?
The benefit of the tax-free savings account is once the money's in there, you can make an investment decision with that.
Okay.
So you don't have to make an investment decision, but you can, right?
Okay.
Now with your emergency funds, because that is rainy day money, you need access to it quickly, you wouldn't want to buy anything risky.
Right.
But you could certainly put it into interest bearing, something like that gives you at least a little return on your money,
Okay.
right? The advantage of that interest that it earns in your tax-free savings account is just like the name says, it's tax-free.
Yeah,
So you don't have to include that. Whereas if you put it into a savings account and did earn a little bit of interest, you're going to have to pay tax on that.
Right. Okay, makes sense. So a savings account versus a tax-free savings account, is there a time when I should be looking into using just a regular savings account? Like, is there a time when that is more beneficial? Or not really?
It seems to me like the tax-free savings account is one of the biggest giveaways the government has done for the current generation. It's so huge, and while there's got some funny rules with it, like you can only put in a maximum, and then if you draw it down, you can't put any more in until January 1st of the next year.
Okay.
So the only time really that I would recommend using a regular savings account is if your TFSA is already maxed out.
Okay. So do the tax-free savings first, and then if you have extra, then put that into a regular
Into
savings
a
account.
regular savings account.
Or
if you've got your tax-free savings account maxed out, you might now be looking at investments that you can't
Right,
just
correct.
do into a savings account.